All right, so if we look at the front line, there's a structural disconnect between here and here, but it still is reflective of a continuity of the fascia. Now, in each of his chapters, we'll go back when we go back to the seats, there's a movement function and a postural function to the lines. So, with the front line allows the back line not to be in full contraction, and also both lines mediate the motion of forward and backward movement. Ida Rolf once said, you know, for the extensors have to extend to let the flexors flex. Yep. So the motion patterns then are flexion extension that are related to the lines. So what we're going to assess first are some of these movement patterns, and then the ease and bind. Where is she? Ease and bind. Okay. Now let's do ease and bind for a second. So with permission, I'm going to palpate the tummy and the chest.
Say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, on the abdomen, the hand is comfortable. If there's any pressure, it's ever so light, correct? Now, the line assessment would be this way and this way, correct? If I moved up between to the sternum because of contemporary bras and the manufacture of heightening cleavage, okay, one, you have to negotiate with the bra on how to palpate the area. Two, you have to actually negotiate the form, so the ulnar surface is probably the best. You don't have to push into the sternum, but you'll stay there, and you'll see, now that's where the movement's stopping me. So we have restriction here. Remember we had those bra lines, didn't we? Mm-hmm. If I'm on near the wire, which is there, and I go left and right, that doesn't move as well as up and down does. That hardly moves at all, and this isn't moving at all. That means no one has worked with that particular band, perhaps ever. So now, we're going to palpate on the front line right at the genital hairline. So you're going to ask your client to place their fingers where that pubis begins. So put your hands where your pubis is, right in the middle. No, the genital hairline. The pubic symphysis, perfect. Then you ask permission either to palpate it yourself or over their hands, okay? And do I have permission to palpate that? Okay, then take your hands away. Now you're really tight and you're pressing and you're holding on. So she doesn't know that her form is like this. That's unconscious and natural for her. You think you're relaxed. But already, and also we're not used to letting people move us. You know how difficult passive range of motion assessment is, isn't it? It's the nervous system is just guarding all the time. We're all in control of ourselves. How dare we let someone else take control of ourselves? But that's what passive range of motion is. They have to be able to take control. So we're going to assess this spot. Now this is considered a bony station on Meyer's lines, a high leverage point on Robert Schleip's lines. I've used the term high leverage point over bony stations. This is, now, fascia is like your clothing. It is anchored at particular places that we can rearrange more quickly. That's why we're learning the lines and the points on the lines, because it'll change. This is the whole fascia, but I don't have to work the whole fascia. I can work a point on the fascia. Say her fascia is doing this. Beautiful garment, by the way. Hopefully not stretching all the... And it's doing that, and as I loosen it, that's what we're going to be doing. And the garment isn't just doing that, it's twisting. It's being held all places. So we're picking particular high leverage points on the lines to change so that we can loosen up the garment. And then clinically, it means we go faster. You don't have to work every piece of the garment. Make sense? Okay. This spot isn't moving at all. Come here. Now, this is what you're going to be doing on each other. first, here, let's face her for a second. Put your hand here. Relax your shoulder and relax your arm, and let me guide you. That's what you're assessing. So feel how it stops there and it goes there. Correct? Is that correct? What? Okay, this is what I've got to teach you first. See, this is what you don't know. This is what you're asking. One way goes easier than the other, correct? Tell me which way is easier than the other. Okay, and it doesn't go down. Okay, what does that mean if it goes up this way but doesn't go down? What segment is holding up? Do you understand that, everyone? This is first point of assessment. Let me say it again. I'm going to take a chair and sit down for a moment because I'm going to get tired of the end of this class. When you get to the tables, this is what the ease mind assessment is going to be for palpation. Everywhere along the line, you're going to first go up and down. Now feel how this moves and this doesn't. We would say there's restriction on the line above the waist more than there is below the waist in the sagittal plane. But now I've said, let's work the intersection. Now I'm told sometimes, no, this would still be coronal or, coronal or frontal. Her coronal frontal plane movement is virtually non-existent there. Put your finger downward, turn the other hand, rest. Now you need a little, relax your shoulder, drop your shoulder. Now just hold on, you're good. Now check it. See, I got to get you to relax to do the work as well. Now, there's no movement there, is there? No. Okay. Now, let's see what's going to happen, because I'll do some release on you in a moment. Let me step here for a second. So I would say then you have the ASIS, you have the rectus femoris.